So we're here looking at these two Hori Horis. I'll start with this guy, and we'll talk about the sheaths and move on to the blades. So this one I picked up at a local hardware store for about 20 bucks. It came with a really crummy, wavily, plasticky little sheath, so I made one out of leather for it. And that's been really handy. Now this guy is your Greentisory Hori Hori. Comes with this awesome, well stitched together, thick leathered sheath with a holding strap. Holding strap's pretty nice in case you're tumbling around the yard or doing whatever, or when you take it off and set it down, you know you're not gonna get that thing sliding out of there. This alone is one of the few things a lot of the other competitors in the Hori Hori realm don't offer, is a quality leather sheath. For some that matters, for some it doesn't. I like the leather stuff myself, so this is a big deal. And when you're spending $40 on a stainless steel gardening tool, this is one of those things that makes the whole package worth it. Nice quality leather sheath. Now, one of the other things you'll see, we have length. About total length from handle to the tip is 7 inches, and along the Greentisory you have inch and millimeter markings to help you gauge your bulb depth or hole depth for planting and adjusting. You'll also kind of see the Greentisory has a pretty deep swell, like a good spade. This guy here behaves more like a knife in the end, and this guy here I'm expecting greater shoveling qualities out of this, so we'll hope that delivers. The biggest thing that has made me excited about this Hori Hori is the handle. One of the things the bulk of other competitors in the Hori Hori realm don't seem to offer is a full tang handle. The leaders in the industry, at least here in the US, are Nisaku or Tamita. They're more or less the same company. And Oak Ridge is another one that's out there that creates a pretty sturdy Hori Hori. And so far, Greentisory and one other company called Lifewell that I've noticed are consistently offering a full tang. Oak Ridge seems to be on the path as well. The benefit of that, and what I love so much about it, is you can see this big chunk of metal stops partway through the handle. This one goes all the way through. That gives you a strength leverage advantage when you're digging on a rock or pulling on a hard root or maybe chopping on a vine or something like that. Having extra stability throughout the entire tool just helps it last longer, gives you more power, and can be more comfortable and energy saving in the long run. This guy's pretty heavy comparatively. This is a solid chunk of not super high quality steel, and after we put the Greentisory, keep saying that, through the rounds, we'll see how it holds up. One of the other differences you'll note here is my serrations are on this side, serrations on the opposite side with the Greentisory. Most of the traditional Hori Horis I've seen have the serrations down on the left hand side. And this was kind of an anomaly, but then again it was 20 bucks, and these serrations are sharp simply because I sharpened them. And I put an edge on this myself. It was not anything like that when I got it. This one comes with a pretty solid edge. One of the things I'm noticing about it though is if you're pushing this way with the bowels, I guess, down, that's the only way it bites. Coming across this way, it doesn't bite. So if you are doing chopping or cutting, it forces you to kind of push in on yourself. We'll see how much of a challenge that will create. That's what I like about this guy, I go out if I'm chopping. But it does give you a good purchase on your serrations, which could be better for you in the long run. So, let's take it out into the yard and see what this thing can do. Starting here, got a number of these roses popping up. I took a bunch of roses out of the yard a year ago and still dealing with the shooters, probably will my entire life. So let's dig in and see how well this guy can pull them up. did it the way I did because I wanted to leave the ground as undisturbed as possible. That's one of the great benefits of a tool like this. Allows you to get deep cut roots and not leave it open to further weeds invading or anything else. And that was done very comfortably. This bevel made me get great purchase down in the dirt, and the sharpness at the tips here made it push in really easy. Let's carry on to some more here. Keep having at it. Down below, we've got a larger chunk of it down there. Awesome. Get that out of the way. Now this guy here, and we'll stop. One of the other great glories of the Hori Hori is not just its ability to dig and spread dirt and move it around, but it's also in that same package you have a knife that can cut and chop and saw. The serrations on this particular Hori Hori are pretty aggressive. You saw with the rows back there. I don't know how well you could see, to be honest, but I tell you with confidence, it cut pretty through. The only drawback was the curve of the blade, but that's the sacrifice you make to have a knife that digs well. The other aspect is it's a knife. The chopper, the sawing, here's my grapevines. I've been slowly taking them out as yard waste permits. So let's give this guy a few swings at it, see how well it chops and cuts and acts as a pruning tool. Let's bring you in and get you a closer look. Now here's that action where I'm only really allowed to get a good swing this way because of the way the edge is set up. One of the things I might do is regrind the edge and reprofile it so it has a little more cutting power in this direction. There's that. Here are some smaller vines. The idea. There we go. Awkward position really, but sailed through that with ease. Here it is on the smaller vine again, the serrated side. Boom. Nice and smooth. The great thing I love is this handle. It fits my beefy hands. I wear a size large or extra large depending on your manufacturer glove, and I've got room to spare with this nice lanyard hole for say I take it out on a root gathering adventure in the woods or volunteering with the local restoration groups. This would be super handy to have a great little lanyard hole on there. And this vine, a bit bigger than maybe you would bother tackling with something like this, but you can see that it can do it. It can actually do it. That's one of the great things about this tool, just the design of it. And so there, maybe not the best for chopping, maybe not the best for tackling larger limbs, but when you put yourself in the hands of these little smaller guys for maybe standard pruning and maintenance versus destruction and removal, this is a fantastic tool to give you that, and you can get more precise with your serrations. Maybe do a little notching and pushing there, a little bushcraft stuff. See what you can get. Here we have some more manageable vines. Nice quick push right through that sucker. Didn't have to put much effort. Hardly drew a couple of holes on this. I mean, God, it only travels a ½ an inch before it's cut through. And this is the kind of easier, lower key pruning you could expect to do with your Hori Hori. It gives you small precision where maybe you don't want to have to carry your trowel and pruning shears or something like that. Well, there's a short display and demo of what this guy can do, and in terms of comfort on the handle, I was very pleased with how easy it was to hold and how comfortable it was. It kind of makes a difference when you can feel that leverage going across your whole hand. In terms of the weight, you may have noticed my belt pouch here. I keep my Hori Hori on it. Since it is lighter whole package than this and this, it was a bit of a relief for me. However, depending on how you tend to walk around and maintain your garden, maybe this might be a lot of extra weight. I don't know. But you know, if you're looking to have kind of one of the most utilitarian, beneficial, useful tools in your garden, a Hori Hori is great, and this one is also great. I'm pretty pleased the attacking I did on a rose stump, as well as the grapevines, and didn't catch it on camera, but I just chopped into a chunk of wood and carved into a chunk of wood. The edge didn't seem to hurt too bad for that, which is fantastic. One of the things to keep in mind though and understanding is stainless steel tends to be a little less hardy than some of the other higher carbon steels, but the beauty of it is it's really hard to rust one of these suckers out, which is part of the reason that you have that type of steel for something like this, is to make it easier to maintain and to make sure that it lasts longer in the face of moisture. I would hands down recommend Greentisory's Hori Hori, the superior quality Hori Hori, because A, any Hori Hori is better than no Hori Hori, and two, this one is a number of steps up from my last. The only thing the other one had on it that this one is the blade weight, which I personally like for the choppier things, and it just gives you a reassuring feeling that you've got a big chunk of steel in your hands. But this guy is elegant, it is sleek, it is thus far durable. You can look forward to seeing a year in use video for this guy. But so far, I have high expectations. So, thanks for watching. Get yourself one of these guys, and happy gardening.